So these Emmy nominations, let's talk about that. I have opinions. So this week, the Emmy nominations were released, and we saw a lot of big victories for actors of color, but noticeably there were a lot of really important people, a lot of really important minority groups missing. So I want to talk about it. I want to fuel a discussion around these Emmy nominations and celebrate the great strides we've made, but also the people that were left out. So it's very clear that the Emmys were definitely reading the room this year. I think they kind of saw what was going on in these streets and they said, you know what? We're not going to have these all-white categories and reward all-white people at a time of civil unrest, which was like, props to you Emmys. Like, you guys were like thinking ahead, quick mouths, thinking, it was really smart of you guys. And I'm just really glad to see a lot of people that were not rewarded in the past. A lot of shows that haven't been rewarded in the past finally getting their due. So I'm here for it. Well, if it was 34% of the nominees are black, that's a record high. So we're going to get into it. So if for those of you playing along at home, we're going to do series. Jesus. We're going to do series first. Lead actors, lead actress, supporting, and then some like little special features. I'm not doing guests. I'm not doing the Emmy Says to Me categories, so we're not going to do all of them. So let's start with series. Drama series. Better Call Saul, The Crown, The Handmaid's Tale, Killing Eve, The Mandalorian, Ozark, Stranger Things, and Succession. Overall, in my opinion, I feel like the drama category as a whole is so weak this year. I think probably the most strong entries, I would say probably The Crown, Handmaid's Tale, and Ozark and Stranger Things. I feel like, and The Mandalorian. I feel like this year they have a good mix of shows that people actually watch. I think that's a consistent theme throughout this. I feel like they were actually listening to the people that watch television this year. I'm glad to see The Mandalorian and Stranger Things actually included on this list. Usually genre sci-fi shows get excluded from the Emmys. But I feel like in the years past, the drama category has always been like the water cooler shows. It's like, oh man, did you see Breaking Bad last night? Oh, it's killer. But no one like who watches this show. There's a couple other shows on here where I'm just like, who's watching this? If you watch this, I'm not trying to offend you. It's just maybe I'm not the target demo. But this year, I think it's a good mix of, I think, people's fan favorites and the more prestige, like, I am the Emmys shows. Out of this, who do I think will win? I think it's going to go to either Ozark or Succession. I would like to see The Mandalorian win. It's really popular. It's really good. But it'll probably go to Ozark just because all the other shows have already won. Better Call Saul could be the upset because it is his last season. We'll see how it goes. Okay, comedy series. So much more interesting. So much more competitive. So we have Curb Your Enthusiasm, Dead to Me, The Good Place, Insecure, The Kaminsky Method, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Schitt's Creek, What We Do in the Shadows. Okay, so the obvious choice to win is Schitt's Creek. I'm very biased in that. You're going to see that for the rest of this video. So this is actually a really competitive category this year. In years past, Veep has just been like dominating this category, just like year after year, just I have the Emmys. That's usually what happens. And it's just, I don't really like that trend of like one show just dominating the Emmys for its whole run. We kind of saw that with Maisel. Maisel season 3 was kind of mid if you ask me. But I think that this year we can see an upset in that trend. I really want Schitt's Creek to win. That show is fantastic and it's not gotten any type of awards consideration for its entire 6-season run. And both Dan Levy, Eugene Levy, and Catherine O'Hara are just American treasures and have not really gotten the due that they need to be given for the legends they are. So, who do I want to win? Schitt's Creek. Who do I think will win? It's competitive. I think that Curb Your Enthusiasm could win. I think The Good Place also has a good chance. Dead to Me, I think, is kind of dead in the water. I think that might come back for a win in its third season. The second season was very good, but I think it's kind of lost its momentum a little bit. I would say I want Schitt's Creek to win. The upset truly could be Insecure. They did not give Insecure anything for its 4-season run. That show has done numbers on HBO. People love Insecure. My personal pick, Schitt's Creek. The Upset, Insecure. Who will probably win just considering the history? I put it between The Good Place and Curb Your Enthusiasm. Alright, limited series. A spicy category this year. So we have Little Fires Everywhere, Mrs. America, Unbelievable, Orthodox, and Watchmen. Okay, so I've actually got a chance to watch the majorities of these. Y'all, Little Fires Everywhere, art, cinema, and acting class. I think that might be like the best thing I've seen on television this year. I'm halfway through Mrs. America right now. Also, just world-class acting. Unbelievable was nuts. Very good. Unorthodox? Good. It's good. Wasn't for me. I thought it was good. Watchmen, the spiciest of meatballs. Oh my gosh. Who's gonna win this? Yo, I don't know. I think what's gonna happen in this limited series category is there's gonna be some consolation prizes in the sense of whoever wins series. I think what's gonna happen here is that we're gonna see a win either for Watchmen or Mrs. America for the series, and then I think that Little Fires Everywhere will get the actress nomination. I think that's how that's gonna work. Personally, I think that's how it's gonna go. Yeah. Lead actor in a drama series. Alright. What a boring category this is. So we have Jason Bateman for Ozark, Sterling K. Brown, This Is Us, Steve Carell, The Morning Show, Brian Cox, Succession, Billy Porter for Pose, and Jeremy Strong for Succession. So this is once again our usual suspects for this category. Love Sterling K. Brown. Billy Porter won last year. Who's missing from this? I just feel like the problem is they separate limited series from drama series, and that's why I think they were kind of scrambling to get people to fill this category. Who I think is going to win this? Sterling K. Brown has already won. Billy Porter has already won. I'm not going to put that past a Billy Porter upset of him winning 2 years in a row. Especially considering the way they treated Pose, but we're going to get into that later. That's probably going to be the bulk of this video. I could see it being... They might give it to Jeremy Strong because I think Succession is that big HBO show that not a lot of people watch, but is like the prestige show. So I think they're going to give it to Jeremy Strong just to give Succession something. My personal pick, I like to see Jason Bateman win. I'm just a Jason Bateman fan. Anyways, lead actress in the drama series. Okay. So... Actually, no. I'm going to say this for the end because I have a lot to say about this. We're going to come back to that. Lead actor in a comedy series. Okay, this is a very interesting category. So we have Anthony Anderson for Blackish, Don Cheadle for Black Monday, Ted Danson for The Good Place, Michael Douglas for The Kaminsky Method, Eugene Levy for Schitt's Creek, and Rami Youssef for Rami. Okay, so I was very satisfied with this. We have some old friends, some new friends. Anthony Anderson and both Ted Danson have been nominated time and time again in this category. Ted Danson of Cheers fame is just like, you know, he has Emmys just around his house. Ted Danson does a great job in Good Place. He doesn't need to win. I don't think they're going to give it to him. Don Cheadle does great in Black Monday. I just don't think there's enough momentum behind Black Monday for it to get a win. And if anything, I think Regina Hall should have been the one that they were pushing, not Don Cheadle, just my opinion. Michael Douglas already won, and then who is watching The Kaminsky Method? I tried it. I'm obviously not the target demo for that, but like, you know, more power to you. Personally, I think Rami Youssef also has won already too. So this is really between Eugene Levy and Anthony Anderson. So here's the tea. Anthony Anderson has not won for Blackish. Now, I believe this is Blackish. Blackish is done. Blackish has not received any acting wins. It has won series wins. It's not gotten any acting wins. So, I personally think, my personal pick, I would say Eugene Levy. Personally, I think Anthony Anderson does the same thing every season of Blackish. It's good, but it's the same thing. Eugene Levy, just because of the history and just, I would say, a reparations Emmy, just because he's been snubbed so many times. I think what's going to happen here is, and you're going to see a lead actress in the comedy series, I think that they're going to give it to Anthony Anderson for this one. Because really this year, it's between Blackish and Schitt's Creek, my personal opinion. Maisel was kind of usually is like the juggernaut, but that third season did not hit as hard as I think people thought it was going to. So I think they're going to give it to Anthony Anderson because he's been nominated like 4 or 5 times. He hasn't won yet, and Blackish is going to walk away with a win with this being its last season. So I think that's how it's going to happen. We'd like to see the Eugene Levy upset. Lead actress in a comedy series: Christina Applegate for Dead to Me, Rachel Brosnahan for The Marvelous Miss Maisel, Linda Cardellini for Dead to Me, Catherine O'Hara for Schitt's Creek, Issa Rae Insecure, Tracy Ellis Ross Blackish. Christina Applegate is great. That second season was not. Okay. Rachel Brosnahan, you already have so many Emmys. Okay. So Linda Cardellini, still a great actress. I don't know if they. I don't know. I just don't think the second season of Dead to Me was. So I don't classify that as a comedy. Like, it's funny, it's light. That's in a weird category anyway. So let's get to what we're talking about. If Catherine O'Hara does not win this Emmy, I'm going to throw a shoe. So here's the reason why Catherine O'Hara should have an Emmy. Catherine O'Hara has given us such hits such as Beetlejuice, such as Home Alone, such as this entire show. Catherine O'Hara has been grinding her entire career as just an icon of comedy, and she has never gotten an Emmy. So yes, I think Issa Rae could be the upset. This is another category, as we're going to see in a lot of these female categories, where I really wish everyone could win. I kind of hate pitting Issa Rae and Catherine O'Hara against each other because they both deserve that win, and they both have been snubbed for the runs of both their shows. Okay, lead actor in a limited series or movie: Jeremy Irons, Watchmen; Hugh Jackman, Bad Education; Paul Mescal, Normal People; Jeremy Pope, Hollywood; Mark Ruffalo, I Know This Much Is True. Jeremy Pope, what are you doing in there? Snuck his way into the Emmys. I'm proud of him, honestly. Jeremy Pope is probably the nicest person. I met him stage during at A2 Proud. The nicest human you can meet. I wish nothing but good things on Jeremy Pope, and I think he's going to be a sensation. Anyways, sans Jeremy Pope. This is a very interesting category. Actually very competitive. Hugh Jackman in Bad Education. Now, I just started watching this movie and I was like, what is this going to be about? Wow, it's like actually really good. I'm going to tell you right now. It's a good movie. You should check it out. I think I watched it on like HBO or something like that. It's actually pretty good. Now, this is competitive. I think Jeremy Pope is in here because Jeremy Pope carried on both of his shoulders Hollywood, that entire show. I don't think Hollywood is that good of a show, but I think it has some standout performances, which we're going to get to later in this video, that really make it work. But personally, I did not even know Mark Ruffalo was doing things. Apparently he plays twins. This goes in the category of who is even watching this. It's probably good. Mark Ruffalo is a great actor. I put this between Hugh Jackman and Jeremy Pope. I think that a lot of people watch Bad Education. I think also the politics of it might go to Jeremy Pope, but we'll see what happens. Okay, lead actress in a limited series or movie. My. What a category it is. We have Kate Blanchett for Mrs. America, Shira Haas, I want to make sure I'm saying that right, for Unorthodox, Regina King for Watchmen, Octavia Spencer for Self-Made, Kerry Washington, Little Fires Everywhere. Okay. This is another female category where I wish everyone could win. Literally everyone here is probably doing some of the best work of their career. People that were left out of this that I really think should have been here: Anjanae Ellis. The Clark Sisters movie, I don't think anybody thought it was going to hit as hard as it did. But Anjanae Ellis was giving us some of the best work of her career. And I think it's honestly a shame that she's not in this category. A honest shame. I think also because the limited series, there was so little limited series this year. Also, has anyone seen Reese Witherspoon? Where the hell is Reese Witherspoon? Like, she had The Morning Show Little fires everywhere. Big Little Lies. Not in any of these categories. Personally, think she kind of fumbled the bag by doing too many things. I think if she just would have done Little Fires Everywhere, she would have got the nom. I'm so happy to see Kerry Washington here because she took a big risk doing this. This is so outside of her normal wheelhouse. But who's gonna win this? Yo, I don't know. I really don't. How this falls out is gonna depend on a lot of the other awards how they play out. I think if Watchmen does not win drama series, it's gonna go to Kerry Washington. I'm gonna say it right now, I think Octavia Spencer and Shira Haas are off the board. Because they're always a little hesitant to give Netflix wins because, the politics of live TV versus streaming. I think this is really between, in my opinion, Regina King and Kerry Washington. Also, everyone in here is either Oscar winners or Emmy winners. Shira Haas is the only newcomer. So, there's no one here that really needs a win. I would like to see Kerry Washington win because I just think that was something so different outside of her wheelhouse. Okay. My body. Okay. Supporting actor in a drama series. Giancarlo Esposito, Better Call Saul. Bradley Whitford, The Handmaid's Tale. Billy Crudup, The Morning Show. Mark Duplass, The Morning Show. Nicholas Braun, Succession. Kieran Culkin, Succession. Matthew McFadden, Succession. Jeffrey Wright. Oh, sidebar. I just thought about this. Actually, no, I'll add that in then. We'll go over things that should have been added. Anyways, Giancarlo Esposito has no awards to his name. Iconic person in Hollywood. I think if he doesn't win here, he will win in best guest actor and for The Mandalorian. I need Giancarlo Esposito to walk away from the award. I don't have anything else to say about that. Okay. Supporting actress in the drama series. Same old friends. Laura Dern for Big Little Lies. Meryl Streep for Big Little Lies. Helena Bonham Carter for The Crown. Samira Wiley for The Handmaid's Tale. Fiona Shaw, Killing Eve. Julia Garner, Ozark. Shara Snook, Succession. Dandy Newton for Westworld. Laura Dern and Meryl Streep don't need any more awards, so in my book, they're off the board. Helena Bonham Carter. We don't really get to see her do normal stuff. I love her, but it's been a while since we've seen her just be like a person. Not been in a Tim Burton project. I actually really loved her in The Crown this season. I would like to see her get rewarded for that. Samira Wiley, I struggle. Like to see her as well. Who do I think will win this? I think it depends on. They might just give this to Succession. Depends on who wins things. It's a real little minefield. I think it's between Helena Bonham Carter and Samira Wiley. I'm butchering her name, and she's a legend, and I feel bad about that. Okay, we're gonna move on. Supporting actor in a comedy series. It's not even worth talking about. Dan Levy should win. He created Schitt's Creek. If Schitt's Creek doesn't win series, Dan Levy needs to win for supporting. Nothing else to talk about there. Supporting actress in a comedy series. Yeah. Betty Gilpin needs to win. Okay, yes, next category. We're going to zoom through a couple of those. Supporting actor in a limited series or movie. Dylan McDermott, Hollywood. Jim Parsons, Hollywood. Titus Burgess for Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II for Watchmen. Jovan Adepa for Watchmen. Louis Gossett Jr. for Watchmen. A lot of Watchmen nods. Jim Parsons was... Wow. He showed that training in Hollywood. I've not got to watch Watchmen yet because I am poor and I need to buy HBO. But, I love Yahya Abdul-Mateen. And, yeah, I think that's between Jim Parsons and Yahya Abdul-Mateen. Okay, and this is going to be the last acting one we're going to mention. We're going to hit some little quick highlights. Then we're going to go to our main event, which is going to be the bulk of this video. Lead actress in a drama category. Twitter has been buzzing. All right. Supporting actress in the limited series or movie. Uzo Aduba, I think should win. Her work in Mrs. America is great. Personally, I think if we get a Shirley Chisholm spin-off series off of that, and it's just Uzo Aduba, I would watch it. I'm sold. Everyone else in this category has won already. Not really a big deal. Okay, variety sketch series. We have Black Lady Sketch Show, Drunk History, and Saturday Night Live. I'm very sad that Astronomy Club is not included in this. I feel like Astronomy Club really came and went under the cover of night and never really got any buzz. I thought it was really funny. I hope it gets a second season. I don't know if it will. I haven't heard anything. That thing might be dead in the water. I thought it was a really good sketch show. Back to this. Please give it the Black Lady Sketch Show. Here's my whole thing. SNL has like, what, 50 of these? Because this is basically the SNL category, because for so long they've been the only variety sketch series. Yeah, Black Lady Sketch Show is great. It's new. SNL doesn't need another Emmy. Give it to them. Alright. And then, let's talk. Who's not here? Couple highlights. Dave and the Great in the comedy section. I've finished both of those recently. Wow, Hulu really did it with both of those. Starting with The Great, that's probably one of the best period dramas I've seen. Tony McNamara, who wrote The Favorite, probably one of my favorite writers in that genre of period. I'm very disappointed not to see Nicholas Hoult in that leading actor in a comedy series category. I'm very sad not to see The Great in the series category. Comedy was so competitive this year. So competitive. Same thing with Dave. I'm really sad not to see that nominated, at least for writing. I think it did a really good job of dealing with male insecurity in a way where it wasn't like, oh, it sucks to be a male, it's so hard being a man. No, it was like, did it just dealt with self-hatred and insecurity and body insecurity in the man in a way that like was very nuanced and wasn't like, you know, bad. I hope it gets a second season. I hope it gets awarded for that. Those are my highlights. Now to what you all have been waiting for. My take on lead actress in a drama series. So here we have Jennifer Aniston, The Morning Show. Olivia Colman, The Crown. Jodie Comer, Killing Eve. Laura Linney, Ozark. Sandra Oh, Killing Eve. And our queen, Zendaya, for Euphoria. Now, who's missing from this category? Can you find them? It's the women of Pose. Okay, so I said this last year, and I'm saying this year. MJ Rodriguez and India Moore, and I'm gonna also add Hunter Shafley. I think that's her name. I don't want to be incorrect. I will look that up. But the three of them should have been in this category. Okay, Jennifer Aniston was on Friends and has Emmys. I don't know why she doesn't need a nomination. Frankly, if we're really being honest, I think she has a good chance of winning. We're going to get into that in a second. Olivia Colman does not... I'm sorry, I'm not impressed. I like The Crown this season. I think Helena Bonham Carter was running circles around her this season. I don't know why Olivia Colman's here. Jodie Comer and Sandra Oh, once again, y'all won. This could have been such a more interesting category. Oh my gosh. Like, we saw so many good female performances this year. And why are they excluded? MJ Rodriguez and India Moore especially, just having seen Pose, I saw the first episode of Euphoria. I cannot speak to Hunter Schafer's work, but her work in that first episode was fantastic, and I'm sure that she continued that as well as Zendaya. But just having seen the entirety of Pose, I'm sorry, that's some of the best acting I've seen. Like, India Moore and MJ Rodriguez have such a presence to them. When they come on screen, you are paying attention to them. I think that it is just a gift of acting that when you speak, someone pays attention to you. Like, that is a gift that can't be trained. You can't buy that. They have such a presence that, like, if you are, like, on your computer, like, watching postcards, like, oh, MJ speaking, yes, what is it? Like, I remember when I watched the first episode, I was in the gym on the treadmill. When MJ went to her first monologue, I stopped running. I was like, hold up, stop the treadmill. You've captivated me. And honestly, that's the reason I kept watching this show. Is the fact when they speak, you're like, all right, Stop it. We got to pay attention. And that's just that amount of talent. Why are we not recognizing this? And, you know, my whole thing is we recognize Billy Porter and we love Billy Porter, but we don't recognize the trans women that if they were not here, Billy Porter would not be employed. This show would not exist without the trans woman on this show. I think it's so ridiculous. Also, let me fact check myself real quick. Pose is not even nominated for drama series. So Pose is just nominated for Billy Porter. So why? Like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand the blatant transphobia that's happening right now. It's just very frustrating. It's very confusing. I think that calls to end the gendered acting categories. Like, this is why. Because they're not nominating trans performers. And I just think that, especially in this category, you are nominating people that not only have won, but have won recently and that are already established actresses. I don't see why we couldn't. Why, my question is, like, why is there only one slot for not only an actress of color in lead drama, but why is there only one slot for a newcomer? Why? I just don't understand, and it's just really frustrating. And I just think that their work is going unacknowledged. And I'm going to say this, if Billy Porter wins this year, because I remember last year when he won, he did not acknowledge those girls. He simply said their time will come, and I did not like that at all. I think that when you need to recognize the shoulders that you stand on, and that show would not exist without them. And I think it's also that show just wouldn't exist without them. And I think I would not call Billy Porter the lead of that show. He is the only male on that show. The only, I guess. Anyways, but I'm just frustrated. It's very frustrating, and I personally would like to see Zendaya win because yeah, none of these other people need to win. Also, Euphoria is not nominated for lead drama series. Like, that's what the whole frustration I have is that when comedy, we're always like, the diversity's there, we're willing to do this. When we get to drama, when we get to the more prestige elements of film, now there's a barrier. Like, you are good enough to be laughed at and make us laugh, but no, you want to tell your story, be taken seriously. No, that's only for certain people. And I think we've seen that in the Oscars last year, in the sense that Parasite won for Best Picture, but not a single actor from that film was nominated in the acting category. Yeah, that's a problem. It's a problem. That's a beautiful film, and all of those actors in that film gave wonderful performances and should have been nominated. I don't understand why they were not, especially in a year where you were giving Oscars to people that had already won, and where we weren't acknowledging different and unique films already. So I'm still frustrated. I'm glad to see this many black people nominated, but I am beyond frustrated to see the complete trans erasure of this category. A step in the right direction, but we're still one step behind. Because if we all don't come, then there's no point of coming. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. So I'm very excited to watch the Emmys this year. How this is going to work with COVID, only God knows. So that's my Emmys breakdown. Like and subscribe if you like this video. And those were my opinions.